Team Empire's
Wherever
turn
they are.
to ban. Team Secret's turn to ban.
I hate setups like these.
Team Empire's turn to ban.
Can someone tell them to start?
Team Secret's turn to pick. Team Empire's turn to pick. Ten seconds remaining.
Welcome back,
5
everybody, to
seconds remaining.
ESL One Manila 22nd game number 2 now between Team Empire and
Empire's
Team
turn to
Secret.
pick.
The scene as a whole didn't really have a whole lot of information to go on as we entered this series, but it certainly hosted a lot of surprises, with Team Empire showing some strength that I think none of us can say we really expected out of them.
Sort of think that Empire, they just made really good calculated plays, but at the same time, like Secret, there were a few missteps throughout that game. Like for example,
10
they
seconds remaining.
it didn't really feel like they were able to fully utilize the relocate
5
with the next
seconds
combination. There were a few times where
Team
Empire just set things up really
Secret's
well,
turn to
like
pick.
that bottom fight where they were smoked up and waiting for it.
They made the game really, really hard on Secret, basically. Universe was never a threat at any point in time of the game. They couldn't use relocate offensively. Whenever they did, they would lose. I think they got a few kills off of it when they kept skirmishing in the middle lane, and that's about it. You know, for the first 15-20 minutes, the game was really, really close, and Team Secret was doing what they needed to with the lineup and buying themselves
10
time.
seconds remaining.
And then from there on out, it was just Empire taking full control of and
5
utilizing that they had
seconds remaining.
vastly superior team fight.
Well, this is interesting as we go into game number 2, Team Secret.
Turn to ban.
Starting off with kind of the same strategy that we saw from game number 1, leading with the OD. They're going to get another one of those kind of defensive saving style heroes in the Chen rather than the Wisp or Dazzle that we saw before. Meanwhile, Team Empire picking up the Doom and
Team
Puck seems like
Empire's
general
turn
team
to
fight
ban.
and initiation for them being prioritized.
I like to talk about this from time to time, probably too much, but I think if we talk about trademark heroes, the OD for RTC and the Chen for Poppy is a pretty good opener
10
when you're
seconds
Team
remaining.
Secret.
Yeah, I think the Chen especially for Puppy.
Team Secret's
Everybody knows
turn
about it
to
already,
ban.
but sort of think
Team
the OD
Empire's
definitely wasn't
turn
the
to
issue in the
ban.
last game. Like the pick itself worked out really well. There was a time period where the hero was just dominating around the map, but
It was probably the only thing that
Yeah.
actually they had going for them.
it just kind of felt a little bit disconnected because they had this hero that was dominating the early game, but then they had the Naga that couldn't really
10
provide anything in
seconds
fights.
remaining.
Do you think there would have been a better offlane on that game?
5
I don't know.
seconds
I think-
remaining.
I think you saw last game like the dangers of having both Dazzle and
Reserve
Wisp on
time.
your team, just because then you have two supports that don't really do anything in the way of coming back into the game.
Mm-hmm.
You saw how much the Lion was able to do. Once he just got a Blink Dagger, the hero became online again. It was perfectly fine.
I think they could still go back and pick the Wisp again for this lineup. I think it's as good as Dazzle is with Chen.
Yes, but I don't know about that because I still think Wisp needs some farm. Like he's not the type of support that's gonna buy wards for you constantly and like Sentry and things like
But
that.
Chen can be.
Team Secret's
I guess,
turn
but
to pick.
it's. I think Puppy usually wants a little bit more farm.
What is it that Chen offers you that Dazzle does not that makes you think that they can still run that kind of combination?
It's that he offers more aggression and map control in the early games especially. He's not as weak as the Dazzle is, and then he still provides that heal for Wisp, and then back and so forth. I think Wisp and Chen is
10 seconds remaining.
these days, underrated combo of supports.
5 seconds
It's something we
remaining.
saw a lot being played 2 years ago. Almost to the point where you would say if they get this support combo, they'd win the game. I really like this Vengeful Spirit pickup. It sort of preemptively counters a potential
Team
Bat Rider pickup.
Empire's turn to pick.
It's fair enough. There was still a lion in the pool. Team Empire choosing not to pick that one up, which means Team Secret will still be able to get their hands on it. And this does mean they're going to be able to make up for perhaps some of the disables that is missing from this Chen. And Team Empire immediately going for the Spectre now.
Turn to pick.
They had so much success with it in the first game. I think Spec plus Puck anyways synergizes really well together. I think both those heroes, they kind of just work out. Well, you've got the Puck that can set things up for Spectre. The Spectre provides enough of a late game advantage so that you don't necessarily have to pick up a damage dealing mid or anything like that, or a true kind of like half position mid.
10 seconds remaining.
Are we looking at Team Empire running the same kind of aggressive dueling
5 seconds
that they did last time? It was the Dark Seer Earth Spirits last time around. That was very successful. This
There's
time
like
around,
nothing
there's a
like that
duel.
though.
Reserve time.
No, I don't think so. I think they need to go safe lane this time around, especially with the threat of Chen coming out. They make it way too easy for them if they do play
Empire's turn to ban.
on the off lane.
Yeah. This time around, Team Secret, they opt to go for the Tidehunter. The Nyx Assassin worked out really, or it didn't work out, but the idea behind it was that he scouts things out for the relocate, good burst damage, good pick in
10
case
seconds
you want to block
remaining.
off the Nyx pick from the enemy team because you have an OD on your team, but
5 seconds
Tidehunter,
remaining.
a more reliable option for team fights.
Those
The
are
Ravage,
exactly the
obviously.
heroes I was thinking of when I asked you whether the Nyx Assassin should have been replaced by something else.
Yeah.
I didn't think Darkseer would quite do the trick if they had gotten it instead of Empire, but whereas I think Tidehunter, still a strong hero that can go in, frontline and everything, and still set up the team fight for them where they'll allow the OD to get a sufficient amount of damage output. Really what they needed in a lot of these early or mid-game team fights in the last game. So
Yeah, but at the same time, like there's a downside to the Tidehunter just because of the long cooldown on the Ravage, and you want to be able to set things up sooner with the relocate, and
he's not a threat around the
yeah,
map.
and also it's just he's not going to be as mobile as
Team
say Nyx
Secret's
Assassin because
turn to ban.
you want the idea behind it was strong, where they want the Nyx to kind of scout things
Team
out and look for
Empire's
fights for them,
turn to pick.
whereas the Tidehunter doesn't really serve that same purpose. If they were going to do that, then they would have to change more in their core strategy. Like they would have had to swap out one of the two supports.
A lot more sustain coming from this lineup for Team Secret with the Chen and Tidehunter. Both of them are mech heroes, but we can probably agree that there's going to be a lot of sustain here. Team Secret might be able to put a lot of pressure down, but Team Empire go for the Enchantress.
It's actually interesting. It's almost as if Poppy forced their hand into this Enchantress pick with that Darkseer ban. And that normally you wouldn't see. I think he's the only Chen player in the world that would force the enemy to pick Enchantress against him. I would hate to play against it. I'm sure Arke would too.
10
Playing
seconds
Enchantress against a Chen?
They're
Or the
playing
other
the
way?
Chen against the Enchantress.
Yeah, playing the
5
Chen against the
seconds
Enchantress
remaining.
sucks.
Exactly. But in
But
this
Puppy's
particular
that good.
Yeah.
in this particular draft, it does seem as if
Reserve
Poppy wants them.
There is another team. This is something that was routine for Ice, is that they would routinely actually in the Chinese qualifier, one of these tournaments, they would pick up Chen into the Enchantress. But that's the only other team I've ever seen that out of.
I think she's a very debatable hero these days.
Mhm.
I think a lot of teams think she's absolutely useless, whereas a lot of other teams think she's one of the strongest heroes in the current meta.
Personally, I think she's really good. Like, if you run her as a 4 position, it's hard to take her down. The 2 creeps that you're able to pick up, a lot of kill potential there. She scales pretty decently.
I think the problem is when she doesn't scale. Like playing from behind with her.
Yeah, it does kind of suck, but it's a risk you take.
Then again, Chen is sort of the same thing. Playing from behind with the Chen is no fun either.
The Jug would have been really good. If you're looking at the options that Secret had left over, it would have worked well against the Doom too.
Yeah, they just don't have enough burst damage, right? So the constant heals.
Yeah, the healing ward would have been really nice for them.
You think they dare picking up the Ember Spirit into the Doombreaker?
I think they have Ursa as an option. Slark, I
Slark.
guess.
I think this is a much more well-rounded lineup by Team Secret than compared to last. They can actually fight them at any point in time in this game.
Yeah, I think so too. And this is the combination that they used quite often at Shanghai when they had the Lion plus the Slark, just because the Slark can eventually rotate around the map, and because he Because of his ultimate, he just moves around really quickly, enables the line to get some of his own space.
So one thing that stands out to me in this draft is that Team Empire went for the Vengeful Spirit instead of the Lion pick because she's generally a better hero playing up against the Chen. Lion sort of struggles because he has to run through the creeps and he doesn't want to commit any of his spells to the creeps, obviously. So that's a problem for him. Whereas the Vengeful Spirit is pretty good at weakens the armor and everything. And then because Poppy gets this Lion pick up, that's probably where he decides in his mind, Enchantress is no longer a problem for me. We can easily deal with her. They have that burst damage, they have the control through the disables and so forth.
Yeah, and they get another hero that's pretty good. Not the best carry in the world against Enchantress, but it does at least provide some disable and some magic damage of its own with the Slark.
Yeah, and
So
Poppy isn't going to go for the hood, so
something.
he's going to have a much earlier BKB this game. So the untouchable from the Enchantress isn't really an issue.
Once again, the early wards being placed out. Pylai die with his boots. TP's out, manages to get himself a river where they should be able to see anything that Afterlife does from here on out.
I think they're going to have a big problem dealing with the Slark as the game progresses.
Hey, you always have Doom. And Doom is one of those like fail-safe options. You just Doom a Slark. You can get him out of the fight if you can get on top of him and prevent him from just walking around and regenerating off of his ultimate too.
But then you still have to burst down the OD, which you'll then have a problem doing.
Yeah, I'm just saying they have options to deal with all these heroes. The Spec plus the Doom works out okay too. As soon as Doom finds a target with his Doom, then Spec just haunts in. It's a really quick 1-2. I do think Secret's lineup though in this game overall is a lot more balanced than it was in the last one.
Would you, if you were the captain of the team, which lineup would you prefer having?
I mean, it depends just because of the players that they have. I think both lineups look okay from my vantage point. I think Secret might have a slight advantage, but not by too much.
So once again, we are going to have our mid-match off. Scandal playing the puck up against our Tours OD. Anticipating that this time around, Scandal will have a bit more support in that mid lane, whether it's a simple like, tornado creep from Aposhka, or maybe a full-on smoke gank into the mid lane. I'm anticipating them not to actually leave Scandal alone in this lane.
Yeah, that guy owned last game, Aposhka.
Oh, yeah, he really did.
I haven't been able to see a lot of his games, but especially in that last game, he created so much space for his team.
Meanwhile, Afterlife, starting off with the Infernal Blade, not actually going for the Devour. It doesn't actually have a hard camp here to work off of. Feels like the Infernal Blade is better harassment damage against the support.
That actually did so much damage. That ability just allows them to trade early. The one downside though is that if you're going to go for the Devour at level 2, it's going to leave you somewhat susceptible as you won't have the Scorched Earth.
Right.
Do you think he potentially skips Devour?
No.
At level 2, I mean. Not entirely.
I still think there's reason to get it. Just because the sooner you get it,
The thing is, I
sooner it
think
gets
he
off
can
cooldown.
get a kill on the Lion. If there's no chain support, I think he can get that kill on the Lion.
I don't think with the Slark available. Like, Pilot Eye should be fine. Trading hits is okay for him too.
The thing is, this Infernal Blade level 1, it only is worth the pickup here if he's actually able to force Lion back enough that he's able to get experience, but this isn't working out. Pylai Die is just consuming tangos and fighting.
Yeah, that lack of armor really punishes him as well.
Yeah. The benefit too of the support, Chen, who bought almost everything, allows Pylai Die to get the boots first, and this is what is enabling him to trade hits more than anything.
Universe trying to put a stop to Poshka getting into his offlane camp, but not much he can do. So they will be able to secure the 2-minute rune at top, and Doom not really doing too much in this bottom lane so far as he's being zoned out by Pi. Will have to go for the bottom rune, picks up himself up a bounty. Finally has that level 2, and we'll see what he does with it here. Very surprised he still hasn't gone back to that offlane camp, which has been opened up for him for quite some time.
Yeah. And with the dual lane, because it is a dual lane, I think that Afterlife is trying to take more advantage of this, but would benefit him to at least have one of the creeps available. You could just roll the dice and see if you can get something really good too.
So he actually went for the
Scorched Earth level
for the
2.
Scorched Earth. I think he was hoping that Pilot Eye would man up and take the fight there because.
But even then, he knows that Pilot Die has boots already.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
maybe
better
if he
play when he was this low, the better play would have been getting Devour and going back to his camp. Taking
York
that
comes
kill
in, misses out, and they're actually going to try and turn around imprisoning up that Wild Wing Ripper and stopping the tornado. Would have been an obnoxious presence, so Artesia says it's well worth to spend a little bit of extra HP and math to take that one out of the pool.
They try to make the movement, but I mean, OD is really hard to kill.
Yeah.
There's almost no chance that they get a kill on a hero like that, especially with just the puck.
Puppy's keeping a constant presence, pretty much sticking between these two camps, farming and getting new creeps, and knows that he doesn't actually need to rotate into the bottom lane too much with Afterlife already being zoned out for the most part.
If anything, he invades in the top.
Mm-hmm.
Try to help the Tidehunter along too. There's some kill potential to be had on the Spectre, but you're going to need some levels first on a few of these heroes before you can do anything.
At the same time, I think Enchantress rotating bottom, possibly through a smoke gang, would net them a kill on the line, definitely.
Yeah.
Create a lot of space with the Doom.
And there's our first blood. Doom ends up going down as Pylai Die sets it up for Eternity to be able to come in, and that Scorched Earth is just not enough regeneration there for Afterlife to live.
Was that Vengeful Spirit starting his TP and cancelling it again? I think
believe so. Poshka, running for the haste rune, will be able to pick it up just ahead of Team Secret. But again, not much is really going to come of this, at least Poshka. Well, he's got an enchant. He could try and steal Pupp's creep, but wouldn't do too much for him. Stun comes out, able to run ahead of the Impale. Enchantress will actually have one of her creeps stolen with that Centaur taken away. Meanwhile, top lane, Universe drops a bit low. Ramses as well as King R, as their lane was pushing in, trying to put some pressure on Universe, hopefully forcing him away from the experience. Not going to happen here. Universe healing solves himself away, and it's good to go with that Iron Talon. The extra farm will be coming in for him. Afterlife is going to be gone on once again in this bottom lane, but this time in a much more comfortable position with the Enchantress creep, as well as Enchantress herself locking in Eternal Envy. They're actually going to be able to get this one. He still has the pounce up, but he's hoping to be able to just get into the trees all the way through. Has to loop himself around this dangerous point. Afterlife is going to be able to get one step ahead of him and blocks Eternal Envy in. And finally, Empire claimed the kill, evening out the score now 1-1.
I don't think Afterlife even expected that to happen. You saw him going back to lane trying to take last hits, and Enchantress was being adamant about going for the kill.
Once she was just patient with the clap. She knew when she hit that though, especially
I think she
with
missed
the
it actually.
No, I think she got it. She faked it out twice. I'm pretty sure she hit it, but regardless, without his ultimate available, all that juking doesn't really do anything for this Lark.
I thought he could pounce out of it. I think that's what Afterlife thought as well.
Yeah, just did a good job of keeping on top of him at all times.
So is this in response to essentially the mid ganks kind of failing, with the Chen constantly there and Afterlife having issues, that they now make this sort of a dual lane scenario at bottom?
Yeah, and they're gonna force the movement from Puppy as well. He needs to either put a lot of pressure on the top lane, which isn't happening, or go down and match the aggression.
Yeah, with this bottom creep, he's gonna steal it for himself, but of course it does fade.
I like this idea that King R rotates mid as they force the attention of Puppy down to bottom lane. Unfortunately, it doesn't work out for them. Afterlife does end up going down.
Just too much disable or keeping in place with the pounce of the...
I'll try and catch Arturo. They have the sounds. They're going to follow up with Ramses entering in with his ultimate. Well, Poshka and the double damage is just the icing on the cake. Yes, Afterlife did go down to the bottom lane, but the much bigger kill on Arturo is claimed by Empire.
Yeah, that was really well set up by them. Just because, again, the Dream Coil plus the Haunt combination, and usually you don't want to use that for a non-core target, but especially the OD with how well he's doing, and he wasn't getting pressured at all. It was a good kill for them. And I think Artesia was actually a little bit out of position there. There's no way that anybody could rotate in.
No room control and river control from Secret. We saw this with the earlier room pickup as well. So it's not surprising that they would get that gank off. They didn't even need the Haunt.
Scandal may still need some extra. I like the fact that he went level 2 waning with as well. I think that was probably part of the calculation there from Artur, assuming that he would be able to get off an imprisonment on himself. But not actually the case there with the extra level in the waning rift.
I think the Hunt though, it was fine. You want to make sure that you kill targets with the OD.
Yeah, and you participate and get some golden experience is fine.
Yeah. I'm curious to see what Puppy's next move is, as his team lost 2 heroes in a short period of time, and this Tidehunter, he's against the dual lane, so like you said, he wants to try to put pressure, but with just the Wand and the Iron Talon, gonna focus a little bit more on his own farm.
The thing is, he's playing the Chen as a 5 and has committed a lot of his spell usage to taking over Enchantress creeps or for a Wilkin Reaper in the middle lane to harass with that tornado.
Yeah.
Essentially trying to counter what Enchantress brings.
Yeah, so he's
to
not
dual
gonna have that
offlanes.
same item progression that we are used to seeing from Chens.
But Pylai may still be able to have better progression in that sort of 4 position. Is already level 5. The Slark spending some time in the jungle here thanks to that regenerative level 6 that he has. Pylai will get his level 6 of his own quite soon. Spectre ultimate going out here. Looks like they're going to go for Pylai, manage to catch him and trap him inside the net. And Ramsey should be able to get this kill, or maybe not. The Chen heal goes out. They're going to have to dive in deeper into the tower. Yes, they get the support kill, but will it be worth it for them? They have to be able to escape, and Universe's TP is just not fast enough, nor does he have his level 6. It would have been needed to punish Team Empire.
Really good rotation again. It just seems like Team Empire, they really know how to use this Spectre Haunt to full use in a mid.
Nice read by Scandal.
That was a really good attempt.
It's really well played by Scandal as well.
Yeah.
It's stun, gets the orb out.
It's really hard to lock down a puck like that, though. They don't have any hard disables there.
Pylai not wanting to give up this tier 1 tower in the top lane for totally free. Is going to be rotating up there, putting a stop to Moposhka's push.
I do like, by the way, I was just thinking about it in my own head, like the situation where Secret does that switch, right? We talked about how they did it often at Shanghai, and we can already tell that Empire studied a lot of these games already. And something that we noticed is, so the line rotates as Eternal Envy goes to the jungle. I was wondering, is it worth it for Empire to just, or any team to set up on Pylai in that situation and just slow down his momentum before he can just like pick up free levels?
I think
they
it's
immediately
definitely
do
worth
that.
it.
Yeah, because he was left alone so many times in that tournament.
Yeah, you take away the faster level 6, you take away any blink timing. Because if they just ignored him, you know, he would have had a fairly early blink.
Yeah, and he gets the early level 6, which is most important, and then he can really pressure the Spectre.
An article of faith.
That smoke gank is not going to work out. They just tried to kind of run at Scandal and catch him by surprise with the quick hex, but Secret don't really get their opening. They do know that the Spectre is obviously getting a lot of space here in their own safe lane, but Spectre Ultimate's going to go down. Doesn't look like it's a result in much. Team Secret retreat away from that mid lane.
I think it was for scouting purposes, finding out where the Titan, the Chen was.
Radiant's bottom tower.
Yeah, looking for an opportunity too with their Doom. There's just a little off mark though, but
Do you expect both teams to put a really high premium in defending their mid tower once again, like the way we saw game number 1 unfold?
Oh yeah, definitely. For the first 20 minutes, that's gonna be where all the fights are gonna go. I think there's a bit of a power struggle right now for Team Secret because they have the arcane boots up, so they can. Oh, good kill coming in here.
They know Ramses doesn't have a quick escape with that ultimate, so he may be caught. He's trying to get into the trees, but he still has to deal with the hounds, and there's just too many disables. Taken out, Pylai, not waiting a second there. Throws that finger of death. Oh, net, Afterlife. He got the courier in hand, and that is a big time courier. That was actually the drums there for Eternal Envy, and still a rope for OD as well.
That's good.
yeah. I'm surprised that Ramses was so far at bottom.
Yeah, he
didn't
had
know.
this false sense of security after scouting out the
exactly.
Radiant lineup.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Mid tower just gonna get poked at in a much more reasonable timing for the Blink Dagger now on this puck than it was in the last game.
Team Secret, perhaps going for a sandwich on this mid lane. They're wrapping around both sides here, but Scandal, he's just pushing out the wave time and time again. Orb, silence, head back to Fountain, fill up, rinse and repeat.
So the item timings on Empire is actually better than it was last game, despite the fact that I think Secret is fighting better this time.
Yeah, this is a way faster blink for Scandal.
And the last game it was like 20 minutes, but he got pressured quite often. This game had a much easier time against the OD, was able to make good adjustments, and most importantly, he had a lot of support from his team overall.
Scandal this time is not here to be able to push out this mid lane. They went for a bottom lane, tier 2 TP in smoke. They're going to wrap through Radiant Jungle. But part of the problem that this is, and I think that this phrase describes it really well, that you have Blitz, where it's this low percentage gank whenever you're dealing with a Slark. It's one of those slippery carries, right? That you're not guaranteed to kill when you smoke gank him.
I think it's a good move just because they want to be able to knock on this bottom
Might
tier
get
1
the Doom
tower.
off immediately.
Yeah, Afterlife, he needs to be able to get the Doom here. Oh no, the pounce immediately. The ultimate goes down from Eternal Levy. He may still be caught though, the foil, as well as, yeah, they're just throwing everything they have. They want to make sure that this kill is guaranteed, and they're going to give it to Ramses as well. Claims the last hit to speed up the progression of his farm.
I think Secret is playing this a bit too defensively, too careful. They have the Rabbit still, haven't used it a single time this game still. They had the Hand of God up as well. I think they could have forced the issue and tried to push down the tower. Maybe they're respecting the combination of Puck and Enchantress as counters to the Chen.
It's not just that.
Right,
it's hard though. When you go for the straight up push against a hero like Puck, he's just going to keep orbiting down waves. And Secret, they don't have heroes that necessarily just want to show immediately, especially when Doom is up. Like, you can't just beat on the tower with the OD and the Slark. It's really easy to get opened up on with Haunt plus the coil.
Yeah, they gotta make the most now though by taking down that tier 1 tower. And then Empire's response is really good. I really liked.
Yeah, going for the Roshan this early on in the game. Now you bring in Makoka, let him take some hits. This is the classic trait though. When you play Dire, you're gonna lose that top tier 1 tower.
They're gonna
maybe
lose tier 2 as well because of the long cooldowns on the ultimates.
That's okay though. Getting the Roshan here is a really good play.
I like that Team Secret are still keeping their farm. You know, with the mid lane here from Artur, as long as he doesn't get caught out by a rotation, which shouldn't happen as the Roshan does end up going down. Eternal Levy's still up the bottom lane, farming up there. And Team Secret, well, they may not be able to get this tier 2 as the rotations are coming from Empire, but they've at least done a lot of damage no matter what happens here. Looks like Empire just not going to be able to get there fast enough. They're going to get the TP in. The tier 2 already dead though, and Afterlife comes in, but he doesn't have his actual Doom. So he tries to go for Universe. Universe is just going to be sent back and tries to zone out the rest of Empire while Puppey gets the free escape.
Yeah, even without a TP, he's able to make it out, and this OD's just been hitting the tower for free. It's just going to be a free one there.
I think it's a very costly trade at this point. 3 towers and complete free farm for both OD and Slark for the duration of the Rose attempt. At this point in time, I don't think that's worth it.
At the very least, attempting to save the tier 2 and leaving that mid lane open.
Yeah, exactly. That's probably where the real mistake lies.
Yeah, they decided to go for that top one, but Secret already kind of clued into that fact, and we're already getting out by the time the attempt came.
Good farm on both sides, though.
Yeah.
Man, drums is a hell of an item, isn't it? Eternal Envy, Artur both have drums. We're going to have Afterlife, Ramses, and Maposhka. I'm sure this is just going to be a basic bracer. I'm not sure if you need a third drums on your team. Maybe just aiming for a little bit of tankiness and then into that
Dragon Lance. It makes more sense to just get the Dragon Lance.
Yeah. Again, another rotation in it. They're going to get the
Artur immediately. They just know how to deal with an OD. They target him down first, getting the initiation time after time. And now start focusing on the tier 1. Who cares about backdoor protection? There is none for tier 1.
Bit of a waste of Hand of God as well.
So Empire know they just forced quite a lot out of Secret with another successful rotation. Does seem like, excluding that rotation up to tier 2, it does seem like Empire's rotations have been a lot more effective in this game.
Yeah, it's just because this Puck plus Spectre combination, whenever you can lead with the Dream Coil or with the Doom and the Haunt just comes in, more than anything, like the common theme throughout both those games is they're able to just abuse around their Haunt. Like, they're always making sure that they're finding something around the map whenever Haunt comes off cooldown.
While all these objectives are taking place, though, we have Eternal Envy free farming on the Slark. That is gonna be the saving grace for Team Secret in this game.
Is he going to be farming fast enough, though? He's at 7,700 in net worth, not too far ahead of this Spectre.
Yeah, we already know that Spectre doesn't need that much net worth to be able to be really effective. And you've got the Dragon Lance completed now on the Enchantress too, beefing up some of her damage as well.
Smoke out from Secret. They see Scandal, but they don't want him. They know this is, Scandal actually blinking forward, going for the creep wave. It's actually now at a bad position as he's going to be slowed down by the gust. Doesn't have vision for another one. Pops it there, but it's just not going to last long enough for him to be able to get the blink out. Almost getting saved there by King R, but the Finger of Death ensures the kill, and Team Secret This time punishing Team Empire, going in, getting the 2 kills, and
Despite
now
being
gonna
caught
look for
out,
tier 2.
Scandal's spell usage is actually impressive.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the way he almost survived through that, through the use of his ultimate, was pretty good.
Yeah, it was just rough timing. The Secret was pinging out there, like, we don't want to go for this puck. It's too hard to kill anyways. At that point, it's just a luck game, right? Whether or not Scandal's looking, because if he is, then Life Die has no shot.
Boshka, is he out of position? Afterlife responding to the Doom onto Artur with Ramses having the double damage. This is exactly maybe a fight that they want to be able to take the send back. Not going to be there in time. It looks like Artur is going to be blown up before that happens. Looks like they actually sent back the Slark instead. Universe, he has the Ravage. Obviously, no need to pop it here. He knows he's dead anyway. Empire just looking for as many kills as possible. With the Ether Lens, they actually managed to get the swap on a feed as well. That turns into a double kill for Ramses. The double damage definitely making that team fight for
I
Empire.
did not see that fight go that way. When he initially popped the Doom, I thought, oh, that's a mistake, my friend. But Universe is just not the Universe we usually see. He hasn't used the Ravage this game yet, has he? I think this fight particularly was one of the most important parts of the game where he needed to commit that Ravage, either to save Tour, who probably would have lived had he used it, and Universe would have lived as well, and as a result of that, Poppy too. So he could have spared 3 deaths. Yeah, they wouldn't have gotten any kills out of it, but he could have at least spared the deaths. But even before then, I think he should have gone in, been in position to Ravage under the tower, and made that fight much easier for Secret, because Eternal Envy was on the front line hitting them.
I think part of the problem right there is that if your OD's doomed up like that, he can't put out any damage, and they don't have any follow-up to the Tide Ravage. I sort of agree in that they do need to get some Ravage off.
There's still significant damage in both Slark and Tide themselves, though, and Lion to boot, and they had the mechanism, so they actually had a decent amount of HP to juggle around with.
Yeah. Now they're in a pretty rough spot, though. Like, the Doom's got drums, Vlads. Afterlife has been pretty on point so far with how he's been positioning himself to be able to get one of the 2 cores at all times. And the Spectre's almost about to complete the Manta too.
Manta style up for Eternal Envy, so he doesn't have to worry about the puck blink in and silence as much. Now that he can get rid of that, there's still going to be Afterlife, who's the scary guy with the Doom, but quick fingers should still solve that problem for Eternal Envy. Maposhka, he's reaching this really big peak now. He's got the Dragonlance. He has level 2 impetus as well.
Point booster pretty short to follow.
Mm-hmm.
He's done a pretty good job of keeping up even as a support. Not really a true support, just because he's been using a lot of this time to farm, but Team Secret, they've got the Blink Dagger now completed on the Tide.
Well,
I mean, if any time to strike, it's got to be now for Secret with this blink.
Yeah, well, even then, I think with the item progression that they have right now, I still think they're in an equally good spot to Empire. I don't think it's as far off, even though this team fight was pretty disastrous from them. I still think it's sort of 50-50 depending on the initiate. Chen is still a lot of heal, so as long as all the ultimates are for Team Secret, I think they can easily fight up against. It is annoying that the OD is gonna be doomed in every team fight, but that is gonna allow a lot of space for Eternal Envy.
Hey, it's 2 things. One, it's if you get the Ravage off to start the fight, or
Yeah, you
as a
might
good
blow up the
counter
Doom
initiation.
beforehand as well, yeah.
Yeah, but if he can get the Doom off on a key target, even the Tide himself, and Doom being really good against Tide just because you can't cracken it off,
It's a
if
good point.
you can prevent the Tide from getting anything off. Still really good ways to win the fight for Team Secret.
Radiant's top tower
It's just
is
right now
under
when it comes to
attack.
farm, for example, it's going to be easier for the Spectre to just get on top of the 2 supports from Secret, blow them up. I guess Pylai Die's not in the worst position just because you can manage it and start killing illusions, but
Again, they have sufficient heal on them. I don't think they're that worried about the Spectre yet. And with the blink on the Titan,
probably not.
I think I even favor Team Secret's team fight right now.
What matters is Doom. Like, how the Doom starts the fight will determine a lot of this.
It's gonna be some chaotic fights between Chen Creeps, Spectre Illusions, Ravage and Doom.
These triple links, Team Secret have yet to find a team fight that they could really capitalize off of. Maposhka off by himself here, while the rest of Empire, 3 or 4 manning behind Ramses. Afterlife showing himself. They may just be going for a straight out tier 1 push. Team Secret
Radiant's top tower
don't
is
look
under
too
attack.
eager to be able to respond.
structures
Giving up a tier 1 offlane, not that big of a deal anyways.
Looks like they don't want to commit too hard for this anyways. They are going to send Pylai Day up here just to sit around this area, see if he can find something.
Dire's bottom tower is
But no
under
real
attack.
opportunities to be had. Spectre going to go for the Diffusal Blade next.
It's a big deal in the fact that it's going to hinder their map movement a lot. They're going to have a much harder time reacting to the top part of the map. And they have a pretty slow lineup to move around with. They can't really help out the Slark as much.
Still no blink yet on him. That'll be the good timing for Empire. Because more than anything, they need to get this Doom off.
Yeah, he's going to have it as...
And there are a lot of good targets this game. The OD, the Slark, the Tidehunter. You just have to make sure that you don't get blown up or get caught up by something like the Ravage in the line.
From how the game has been played out so far, I think he's... Until they start realizing that dooming off the Tidehunter is going to prove a win for them in the team fight, I still think he's going to commit it to the OD if it's a straight up fight.
Secret. Gotta get the lead out. Roshan is dropping relatively fast, and they have to be able to contest this one. There is no trade-offs here. Snow taking towers. They need to be able to get their hands on the Aegis, or at least be able to win this team fight. The Ravage goes out, but the Aegis already picked up by Ramses. They've blown up Babushka though, and they still have 3 heroes trapped inside the Roshan pit. Empire start making their way out. They go straight for Artur. He drops the ultimate. The swap back in. King R looking for the stun, but can't finish anybody off as Artur is able to get the blink himself away. Puppey instead is going to be the target by Ramses. Should end up going down, but the follow-up is all on Eternal Envy. They've already got the Doom on him. They just need to be able to get some disables and damage to finish him off. But the Doom, it's wearing out Eternal Envy. He's going to be able to get a blink away quite soon as the Manta is out to be able to get rid of that silence. The orb misses. They follow up some extra damage, but Eternal Envy finally gets into the trees and starts that regenerative effect. And now Artur, he managed to survive through that whole entire fight and is looking to be able to play more, blinks himself out from the Impetus shot. Pylai Die helps with the save. He's going to be able to get Scandal. That's a drop gem. Artur picked it up, but he may actually end up going down anyway as the enemy team reclaims that gem. Trying to just retreat now with that as Maposhka is going to be the sacrificial lamb stuck inside of this Pounce. Turns to try and help kill the Lion. Don't think that's going to be happening though. It's Maposhka. Oh, dodges the Pounce, sidesteps that one. Maposhka, he's actually going to be able to get away here. King R with a swap, barely. Oh, he swaps Eternal Envy out. They go for the kill on Pylai Die.
Wow.
What a setup there from King R.
Oh, that was so sick!
Well played by Empire. And Eternal Envy should just be able to blink himself out. Oh god, that was closer than I anticipated. Afterlife almost got that one off. If the Infernal Blade hits there and they get Eternal Envy, Empire, they would have been screaming with joy.
Remember how I said chaotic team fights?
Yeah.
That was all over the place.
I mean,
oh yeah.
The Doom was looking for whatever he could. He finally finds the Slark at the last second. EE does a really good job of kind of just running around, but hey, Empire is going pretty ham. They're just running at Secret right now, and Secret are kind of hard pressed to do anything. Like, they've got the heals, but they don't really have anything else that can really turn the fight.
they did
committed
commit
the Ravage to start the
fight
fight.
back in Aegis for this fight though.
Yeah.
And they didn't get Slark kill.
You're gonna get the Diffusal now though, onto Ramses.
There was actually a dieback from Scandal, wasn't it?
Was it? No, it wasn't Scandal that popped back.
Oh, was it
Maposhka's
Jungle?
Enchantress.
Oh, okay.
She was the one who got blown up first by the Lion's initiation. But that definitely played a key point, right? Because I felt like their focus on the Enchantress did mean that the Ravage, it did hit a significant number of heroes, but there wasn't very much follow-up to
They had
that.
to blow the finger for that too, right?
Yeah.
They made sure that Enchantress went down, but you're right. Alright, so
And
they're
because
gonna smoke
that's
up?
the big catch, right? You're talking about how Empire just kind of running around in these fights.
It was a
The
good setup
Ravage
for
is the
Universe
one-
though, because Hunt went off, but he still got the blink through.
Jump in, Infernal Blade on Pylai Die. Jesus. Look at the damage he's taken. He should be going down. Unless to send back here, the swap back in. Pylai Die. Oh, man gets sent out there as Universe provides a save with Ravage. That's still going to be some significant ultimates used to be able to save the support. Ramses has blown an ultimate of his own and should be able to track down Universe quite easily.
Actually, the better kill to get in this particular case. Good play by Puppey using Fog of War to TP out immediately after sending back Pylai Die.
Yeah, I think if Scandal didn't hesitate there, he would have gone both on the Dream Coil.
Yeah.
Maybe they would have been able to isolate some heroes out, but again,
It's a hard play to make when you don't have the vision and you just know their general area.
Empire, once again, though, they're going for any play they can as soon as the Spectre Haunt is up. They realize this is their time to play aggressively. The OD isn't at that huge culmination point where he's just got a lot of farm and he can go off on.
But I like how they are taking it to Secret side of the map now. Even without the Aegis.
While still preventing an opening for, say, Eternal Envy to be able to take that tier 1 bottom. Scandal rotate there. They're leaving Artur alone at the top lane, where he's been bouncing back and forth between lane pushing and jungle. But this is essentially all he can do when Secret have already lost the fight at mid.
Just continuing to get farm now on the Doom. Maybe even goes for something like the Shiva so he can slow down EE, chase him down.
And
Got a
again,
Yule Surge on the puck.
one of the supports picking up the gem for Scandal to run around with. Last time it was Mokoshka. This time, obviously, he still needs his Zags, so King R is able to get the gem for the team. And Doom is going to be picked off here, jump by Team Secret. A pick that will mean something small for Secret, but they're still going to need a lot more if they want to be able to claim control of this game back from Empire.
Yeah, really easy kill for them to nab.
I don't think he should have been there to begin with. I think what they wanted to establish now was pushing this tier 2 objective on the bottom lane. So regardless of how he was going to make his way down there, it would have taken him too long.
Yeah. They had the Spectre ultimate too, which fit in line with their pushing and bottom if only they had the Doom ready to go.
Exactly, the Spectre should have been the one farming up the Dire jungle, and then once the team fight broke out...
They probably just didn't anticipate Secret to get aggressive without Ravage.
Good for them though, they got gem back, or kept it intact. That great swap from King R.
Yeah, it's making Team Secret play pretty scared. They've got their wards currently located on the left-hand side of this map. Even got an aggressive ward inside the Radiant jungle, knowing that they can't really play around, the Dire jungle, knowing that they can't really play around their own jungle at this point. See the line being drawn by Artur. This is all owned by Empire. This is Empire land state. They're going to be able to get more. They've got Puppey. They're going to dive into the tier 2 almost at this point.
No!
Oh, Universe! Oh, fails the Ravage entirely. Still tries to make the initiation, but Artur, I don't think he can really back him up here. Managed to get the imprisonment, but that means he doesn't have an imprisonment to save himself. Artur ends up going down. The Universe is still stranded in the middle of an Empire wasteland. 3 end up going down, and the Dagger searching for more. But Empire...
Blowing a Ravage like that really just blows their mid-game into a disaster of a game. This is going to mean so much for Empire. They're going to be able to take... They're probably even going to hit base, right? There's no Ravage up.
Without Ravage available, they know that Team Secret, they also don't have the Chen ultimate. They committed a lot to try to take that fight. Maybe try to find something out of it. And Ramses, he doesn't have the Aegis or anything like that, and they might not have the best tower pushing, but they can easily cut through this with 28 seconds left on the OD. The Tide, even if he comes back to life, isn't going to be able to provide too much.
Lincoln Yule swap, highlight die. Again, the sent back, but it's just too damn fast. Empire blow him up, and now they're going to be able to get this melee racks.
They've actually gotten so much out of these swaps throughout this game.
They're so rich now too, with the tier 3 tower being taken. It's going to mean the melee and the range racks. Pretty rare to be able to take both
that
of those
Chen
at
kill
once.
wouldn't even have mattered that much. Like, they should have just... They committed so much for a Chen, he stayed alive for a long time. They couldn't have followed up with anything afterwards.
Eternal Envy at top, just going to get poked at. And
Oh, nice blink forward there from Afterlife. Blocking the pounce. Not that it means much, as he still does not have the Doom to be able to put a stop to that.
he's got gold though.
Yeah, he's got
that
4K
Enchantress
in the bank.
Finishes the Ags. You've got a BKB on the Doom. Everybody just starts filtering in items. They've got tons of damage coming out of everywhere. And Secret are honestly just one misstep away from being double raxed.
Spectre is closing in on the Radiance. If it is a Radiance he's going for again.
Almighty must.
Seems like it will be once his
Well, for now,
dagger is back up.
got himself stranded in the trees. Looks like they're going for Artur. They do have the Spectre ultimate. They're going to be willing to blow this one. King O's going to make the follow-up initiation with the Glimmer Cape, and Scandal's already jumped in, and it's so easy to get the kill on an OD if you have the initiation like Empire does, and this is well in time for them to take control of the Roshan pit too. It's up in just 20 seconds.
Oh, it's a BKB once again for them, but I mean, my favorite thing so far with how Empire plays is it's just good play.
Yeah.
They're doing all the little things right. Whenever the haunt is available, they're looking and searching for kills around the map. They're setting things up. They're being aggressive. They're not ever letting Secret just kind of get back into this farming group.
And throughout these 2 games, they've only done one wrongful map read, which was the Doom getting caught out by Team Secret in this one. I don't think they've done a misstep outside of that one.
Yeah, throughout both these games so far, and that damage by that Enchantress, you have to respect it now.
Poor puppy. Already down to half HP before the fight has even begun. And is it going to begin at all? Eternal Levy's actually searching, what, for the courier? He's going to try and cut the creep wave, but Empire have more than enough creeps here to be able to take this full lane.
I mean, that's how desperate you are at this point. You commit drums before you start just chasing Courier across the map. They've got the Ravage.
Ramsey is fine with this one. There goes the Ravage. Managed to only catch 2, though, with Empire. They were still sitting far enough back that most of them don't get caught. They hit the coil. Silence on to 2. Imprisonment is going to be able to buy his time for Universe, but it doesn't really matter. He's already made his initiation. Now Eternal Levy's going to be caught in the Doom. They got through the Lincoln, trying to throw enough damage, and they've got it, too. The Infinite shots more than enough. Artur, he blew up a couple there with the ultimate, but now he's going to be forced away and almost taken out by Maposhka with that heavy set of damage. Empire, though, I love the fact that they're playing this really disciplined. They don't overextend themselves. They take that melee rack.
Did they get the gem on the return as well? I don't think they did.
No, they lost the gem. Still there.
They just immediately buy a new one, though, because they want to continue to deny ward vision, and
obviously well worth it.
these early gem pickups.
I think this is very well going to the 2-0 a lot of people expected, just not to the team they expected it to go to.
Hey, Empire are just playing really well right now. For sure, a lot of people,
Incredibly
including
well.
myself, had some doubts. I mean, you would have been crazy not to. Team Secret, a lot of fanfare behind them, but they are just getting dismantled right now.
Look at Maposhka. My goodness.
The best thing about
not
this is
just him.
you can't ignore this hero anymore.
Mhm.
Like, he does too much damage for you to kind of just say, okay, well, we'll deal with him last. This is, for all intents and purposes, a core.
The thing is, who's gonna kill him outside of the Lion? Don't have
They've got a-
BKBs.
They've got a burst damage, and I guess the benefit is that the OD still has good attack speed from both the Orchid and the drums, but would have really benefited from maybe a BKB of his own.
That's absolutely needed. And what's also needed here is that Team Secret defend this Roshan. They cannot
That's
give up
cheese.
Aegis and Cheese. They have to find their initiation somehow without their big team fight items and without their big team fight ults. And it just
Still no
seems
Ravage.
impossible.
40 seconds.
Levy jumping in, trying to grab something. Oh, doesn't manage to get anything there. The Aegis and Cheese already picked up, and now he's being body blocked entirely. Team Secret are going to leave Eternal Levy behind, knowing that there was nothing they could do there. Now they're going to pop the Spectre Ultimate, looking for more. Ramsey's going to be hexed up. While I die, that hex lasts long enough for him to be able to complete the TP out.
So he drops the gem, tries to just make some YOLO play because he realizes the type of position that his team is in. I know a lot of people are going to say that was unnecessary, but he just thought, okay, I have to go for this. My team is in such a bad spot. With 70 seconds down and the Aegis available, it looks like Empire, they just want to end this game.
Yeah, over the swap out. Take off on Poppy. The Ravage goes in, hits on 5, but again,
No
goes for
damage,
follow-up
though.
damage. They have no Eternal Levy. Artur's already been stalled up. They're going for a Scandal here, trying to get him. But Artur, he dies before it's even possible. And now he's going to buy back, but what hope does he have? They call it Team Secret. They go down in their very first series, revealing the team, showing what big names they are, but going down to Team Empire. The young up-and-comers from the CIS region, unbelievable.
They played amazing throughout. I think game 1 especially was definitely Empire winning through sheer strength, right? I think this game, though, there were so many mistakes done by Team Secret that you could say that, you know, sure enough, Empire played at the same high level they did in game 1, but it was also Secret really just cracking under the pressure, I'd say. And I think to go back to Will's point with Eternal Envy going in for this Aegis kill, a lot of the times